Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just kicked my camera by accident. Um, so today was my interview, and yes, you guys read the title right. I had an interview with Google, and it went terrible. Let me explain. I was preparing for this interview for weeks, and I was like confident this morning. I was like, yeah, interview with Google. And I was super excited. I thought I had prepared. And then I get the call. The interviewer, he's talking to me. He's like, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. This, and that. I had my little notes and everything about what I had studied for the interview. Because when you actually get an interview with Google, they send you a list of things to kind of study. Obviously, I think it changes for everybody, but I was like, okay, for weeks, I was studying that list, writing down notes, preparing myself with some coding stuff. And the moment he asked me a coding question, he's like, how do you do this to get that now? Obviously, the guys, like everybody else, I can't tell you guys the interview question because, number one, it changes for everybody. And number two, it changes for everybody. So the possibilities of you guys getting the same question is one in probably a few thousand. So there's really no point. But the moment he asked me the question, I blanked out. I started sweating, like if I were in a sauna. I started sweating. Now, a lot of you may be like, well, you probably did that because you just didn't know. You don't know how to do. Listen, guys, I was preparing myself. I prepared myself for weeks. But for some reason, the moment he asked me the question, my mind just went blank. And I told him, I'm like, listen, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. And I really was trying to think of the answer. And I kind of already knew the answer. But I was so nervous. Like, I was extremely so nervous that my mind just couldn't get it out there. Like, I could not get myself to type the answer into the shared document that we were, that he was looking at. And, he's like, oh, we got 40 minutes for you to think. I'm like, and like, I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, I just kept saying, I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to think. I have the answer in my head, but like, I just can't get it out. Like, my mind is blank. My mind went blank. And it's Google, like I told him, is like, you guys are Google. Like, it's a one in a lifetime opportunity that most likely I just completely ruined. He did tell me that, like, don't worry about it. I'll reschedule the interview. So when you become a little bit less nervous, hopefully, next time you can maybe do a little bit better. So I'm hoping that I do get a second chance at this. I'm hoping. Another thing is that even with that list that I was given, the question that he asked me had absolutely nothing to do with that list that I was given. Yeah, so one thing, guys, is that if you are doing a front-end position compared to something else at Google, some other, the questions are completely different. You guys can study algorithm questions all you want. If you're studying for a front-end role, there's still algorithm questions, but they're completely different than what somebody else would be asked for a back end or some sort of other engineering role at Google. But yeah, I got so nervous, I blanked out, and I told the guy, I'm like, I'm really sorry. I told the interviewer, I'm sorry. I told the interviewer, like, listen, I'm extremely sorry. Like, I feel like I wasted your time. Like, I know the answer, but I'm so nervous. Like, I just can't. We're gonna have to reschedule. And he did try to comfort me. He did say, like, oh, don't worry, it happens a lot. I'll get a hold of your recruiter so we can reschedule. So hopefully that does happen. But in case it doesn't, lesson learned, to prepare myself a little bit better next time. Just some recommendations for those of you applying at Google for a front-end position. For sure, study up on JavaScript and some sort of algorithms in JavaScript. I recommend this book, JavaScript and jQuery. I highly recommend that one. And also, just study, guys. I mean, I'm so disappointed in myself. Honest to God, I've never had this happen to me in an interview. None. I've been through so many interviews, and well, not coding interviews, but this was my actually first coding interview. And the fact that Google gave me a chance, I feel like I'm doing something right. But I mean, I'm so ashamed of myself. Like, I know I shouldn't be putting myself down because I got to the point where Google decided to even give me an interview. But I feel more disappointed just because this has never happened to me, where I got so nervous to the point where I just couldn't go through with it and I had to stop the interview. And I know that's negative points on my end, or through Google, because it's like, they might say like, well, whenever he gets whenever he gets like a problem, he's gonna get nervous and not be able to do it, which that's not true. It's like I told the interviewer, listen, like, this never has happened to me before. Like, it's just you guys are Google, and it's like, it's a dream job. He just kept telling me, like, don't worry, it happens a lot, and maybe it does, and I'm pretty sure it does, like, to a lot of people. But yeah, guys, it went terrible, like extremely bad. I think the next step is for me to figure out how to prepare myself a little bit better for next time, so I just don't completely blank out. I need to find a new way to study, just because now I know how different it is for the front end questions to anything else pretty much engineering based at Google. So I really just got to figure out a way to study. I'm reading this book. I have the HTML and CSS book that's partners with this one, so I highly recommend you guys get this one. And so I'm just trying to find a way how to better prepare myself for next time, if hopefully there is a next time. I mean, the interviewer did tell me that he was going to talk to my recruiter to reschedule. It probably won't be till next year if they do get back to me. But I do gotta find a better way to prepare myself, because this completely just it just completely got me off track. Like, I was prepared in a completely different way, and I didn't think I was gonna get that nervous. Like, it got to the point where I literally couldn't talk to him. Like, I started stuttering everything. I'm like, I'm really sorry, man. Like, I can't even talk. And that's when he got a little bit more worried. He's like, oh my god. So hopefully we are able to reschedule with Google. If not, I'm not gonna let this bring me down. I am gonna continue studying and trying to get more interviews and get my a job. Like how I told you guys last video, one of my goals for 2020 is by the end of December 2020 is I have to have a job in this field in software developing, or penetration testing or whatever, but I have to have a job in this. And it's just been a dream of mine to work in this field, and I'm just gonna continue doing it until I get it. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update on how the interview went. It went terrible. I wish I could tell you guys different. It went terrible. Like, I am so disappointed in myself. But again, I'm not gonna let this bring me down. I'm gonna continue working on this. I have to find some way to practice everything that I learned. And yeah, I can go back to, WazU, since I am a student for life, and just re-practice everything. And that's probably what I'm going to do. At this point, it's just go back and, re-study up on the JavaScript. But let me tell you guys that whatever you do, if you are in a coding bootcamp right now, just don't base yourself off of that, because there's a lot more in that than these recruiters are requiring than just the basic knowledge that you learn in the boot camp. Now, I'm not saying boot camps aren't good. They are, but pay attention. One thing that I did learn is that a lot of the stuff that was on the paper they gave me was stuff that I actually did in WazU, and honestly, like, I wish I would have just gone back and kept like redoing the projects at WazU and stuff like that. But I didn't do it. Now that was on my bad on my end, and lesson learned. But now the only thing I can do is just, get back on my feet and keep steady and keep trying at this. Hopefully they do give me another chance. If they do, I'll try to be more prepared. Obviously, I still can't guarantee that I'm going to even get a second interview. If they do give me another chance at a first interview, that's just the phone interview. That you still, if you pass that one, you still got like 3 other ones that you got to do in Mountain View. So my goal right now is just to keep working. Like, I'm hoping they do give me a second chance for the phone interview. If not, I'm not going to let that bring me down. The guy did everything, the interviewer did everything he can to try to help me through it. And it was just me. It was on my end. It's like I told him, it's on my end, dude. I'm just way too nervous. And I can't think straight. Like, I wasn't trying to be mean to the guy, rude to him. Hopefully I didn't come off that way. I was just way so nervous. It's like, and it's so funny. It's just never happened to me before. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to bring, tell you guys that little story. And if the interviewer, if you're watching this, or which I highly doubt, I do apologize if I wasted your time, and hopefully I could get another chance at this. And yeah, guys, I mean, that's my story on interviewing with Google, and it's, oh my god. But let's just keep on trucking on and hope we get another chance, and if not, then get chances somewhere else. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my little rant and short story on how I completely bombed a Google interview. And please subscribe, hit the like button. This is obviously not my last video. I'm trying to do more videos constantly, and probably won't be my last interview video that I bomb. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on what happens, and see you guys on the next one.